Real world. The word of heaven is the message of one who is absent of mind. In order for one to be absent of mind, he must have no individual attachments and be completely absent of self. In order to be completely absent of self, one must be without attachments and not exist in one's life. Everyone lives their one lifetime, but rarely do they live without attachments. When I say rarely, I mean never. This is because they do not know how to do so. Even if such a method were to exist, they would not be able to discern whether or not it is correct. They live thinking that such things as eating, sleeping, and excreting are all there is to life. Such misunderstandings are no doubt pathetic. If one wishes to discuss life, he must know life's fundamental logic as well as its true meaning. The true meaning of life does not exist far away, but within the mind. However, he cannot know it, for man's mind is too dim to see the true mind. Man lives with the passing years, constantly and tumultuously thinking, then passes on to the afterworld. This world and the next do not exist separately. They are one. Nor is there a place where one goes to and fro. Everything exists within man's mind, whereby his mind is heaven. Heaven does not exist someplace far away, but within man, within his mind. Man is the master of heaven. He is the master of both what is real and what is unreal. Man's mind is tumultuous, but his mind is what is heaven. So as long as he knows the original mind and reaches the one heaven, his eternal existence as God will also exist within his mind. Within his mind is where not a single one of his thoughts exists. It is where reality exists from amidst nothingness. It is man's mind, and it is the realm of God. God's realm is where man's real image truly exists. Thus, this place exists within the mind and in the world of truth. Man lives in this world constantly and single-handedly creating turmoil and kleshas in his mind. But such things do not exist in the real world. When one's mind is absent of attachments, he will have the true mind and will live without any kleshas. And not only would he be absent of any kleshas, but also the real world is where man lives, without his shape. The realm of God is where man lives, free of his karma and habits. It is the real world. No one would know even if an almighty being were to come from this place. Nor is there anyone with the wisdom to distinguish what is right and wrong. It is a problem indeed. The real world currently exists, and it follows the will of the Almighty Being. But man does not know this, for his mind is not righteous. Man thinks he is his thoughts, not knowing that such thoughts are entirely unrighteous. He does not know that actions of their own accord minus his thoughts are what truth is. Instead, he lives thinking that the karma and habits that birthed those thoughts are righteous. Thus, this world is unrighteous through and through. I came to live in this world early in life, but lived without being immersed in it. And it is in this manner which I intend to continue living, for this is the way to live a true life. People do not know what righteousness is, because they have yet to be enlightened, and because there has been no one to teach them. The degree to which righteousness is established in the heavenly realm is equal to that of its establishment in the life of man. If man's life is dark, the heavenly realm becomes dark. Those who live in this world wish to go on to a better place after they die and live eternal and blessed lives. Nature's flow has had it so that man's life does not end in one lifetime, but is eternal and everlasting. This was done by its establishing of a perfect world from the very beginning, a heaven in which the degree of oneness would equal the degree to which mankind would become one. The real world is the place created by the Almighty Being, and as such, it is a place man cannot reach on his own. The only way he may go there is through the Almighty Being, wherein he will be born again and live forever. This new heaven is where man is the whole, but also an individual. It is where he is an individual, but also the whole. Man's mind is the whole, but due to the karma and habits he has come to have, he is unable to settle down anywhere. The place where he must settle down and live is the new heaven. If the real world exists in one's mind, in other words, if he exists in the real world, he will be able to find his way to it easily, even after he dies. Reality is where one lives without belonging to anything. Life in the real world is no different from life now, but it is a place absent of man's thoughts and free of his habits. Many of man's karma and habits stem from his means of making a living. But in the real world, none of these things exist. In heaven, one's image and the mind he has come to have are not different. Thus, one can know with certainty where he must stand in proportion to the amount of virtuous deeds he has done in the world while alive. Such is the new order, and such is the righteous world. Countless things in the world either seem joyous or sad, for one's self exists. But in reality, in the real world, none of these things exist, which means one does not belong to anything, but dwells in boundless peace. One's belonging, his confinement, is his own doing. This is because his thoughts are his attachments. But for sure, such is not the case in the real world. In the real world, all are one. It is where there is no separation between you and me. It is the everlasting realm of God. This realm of God exists within man's mind, and it is where one's self does not exist. Thus, the realm of God is nowhere else but here, and it exists eternally within man. The mountain that floats upon the clear lake is not the mountain itself, nor is the mountain that one sees before him. The real mountain exists inside his mind, and it is the true mountain indeed. This mountain exists within the mind, and it is everlasting. The place where everything exists within the original mind as reality is the real world, and thus the new heaven. It is the place that is omnipresent, regardless of space or distance. It is the place where the individual is an individual and yet adapts to the flow of the whole. The mind exists of its own accord and is truth as it is. Such is the truth of the mind world, but man does not know this, for he cannot see it. Such is the logic of the universe. Such is truth. A delicate flower is in bloom in heaven, but man thinks it to be worthless, for he can neither see it nor touch it. Those who will live in the future will all have minds as clear as glass, and will thus be able to see everything. The universe has engraved into itself the logic of the world, but man is unable to see it, for the mind man has is unclean. Nevertheless, this unclean mind does not originally exist, and once he realizes this logic, his mind will no longer be unclean.